4th and 5th graders. Miss Hartley here. So what this video is going to be about is your assignment for this week is all about using Destiny. Remember that Destiny is the platform that we use to look up physical books in the library as well as look at ebooks that we can get in the library. So it's gone a slight makeover and looks a little bit different. I'm not sure if some of you guys have been on there yet this year. But first I wanted to start off by showing you how to get there because there are 3 different ways. So on the Eastly homepage, look, there it is right there, right on top of NC Ed Cloud. It's also under Students. Okay, there it is right there underneath Book Flex. It's also on my website. So if you are going to mine, it's under Quick Links right here. And then I have a tab that says Destiny. While I'm here, I just want to show you, I'll go ahead and show you that tab. I've got some videos on here that you guys can watch if you want to like a refresher on some of the things I'm actually going to talk about right now. Also, while you're here, this is the information that you guys will need if you want to do curbside checkout. That's all right here. So if you want to come to school on either Mondays or Thursdays and pick up physical books, this is the directions for how you do that. But then the last thing I wanted to show you is getting to Destiny is you can do it right from your NC Ed Cloud. It's right here, Follett Discover. And what I kind of like about that, I'm actually not going to do it because I want to show you a different way. When you press that, it automatically recognizes you from being in NC Ed Cloud and it just logs you in right away. So it's really convenient. You can kind of skip a step. But in the meantime, I'm actually just going to use this link to show you that if you do come to Destiny from outside of using NC Ed Cloud, you do have to log in. Okay, so that's like pretty critical for what you're going to be mostly doing in terms of Destiny for distance learning. Like when we're at school and you just are in the library and you just want to use Destiny, you don't have to log in. But for the purposes of you guys using it at home, you do. Okay, so as you can see, it looks different, it's shiny. It's got cool colors now. So first thing, number 1, log in. It will sort of, as long as you're logged into NC Ed Cloud, it'll recognize you, but when you press this button, I need you to ignore this stuff over here. You guys do not have Follett accounts, but you do have NC Ed Cloud accounts, so I'm going to click on that. If you weren't already logged into NC Ed Cloud, which I am, you'd have to put in your NC Ed Cloud number and your password, but I am already logged in. We are good to go. So I'm just going to show you very quickly a few things that are different on here, but I'm not going to go too far into things today. I want to focus on looking up physical books, and I'll tell you why in a second. All right, so as this website very slowly loads, come on. Okay. On the top, we have just some direct links, like a few, I'm going to talk about these next week, but these are all different ways that you can get ebooks. You know, we got things like BookFlix, PublicGo, NC Wiseowl that has things in it like Britannica if you're doing research. Then I've got my ebooks right here. Again, I'm going to talk about these next week, but it's pretty easy to figure out. Just press open, you're pretty much good to go. Interactive ebooks are just, they have like music and video as opposed to like just a straight up book that you would be reading. So that's the difference between those two. And then this I wanted to show you, these are called collections. Right now, we're kind of focusing on like the younger students because they don't really know how to use Destiny. So we're picking topics that they would like. So these are going to be mostly like picture books and stuff. But eventually, as we get going throughout the year, we'll put in things for you guys that are like unsearchable things like books with powerful girl characters, or books that take place in the future. You know, things that you can't necessarily type into Destiny and get, but that you might be interested in. And then if you just keep scrolling, this is more of the physical books. I've got popular titles and recently added books, okay? So for the purposes of our instruction today, I want to go over how you look up books and how you tell what kind of book that they are, how you place a hold, and how you can tell if a book is in or out, okay? So I'm interested today in pandas. I saw a funny meme the other day about pandas, and now I'm in a panda mood. I'm actually going to leave off the... No. So I'm pressing, typed in pandas, and then I'm pressing search. So now what Destiny is going to do is it's going to look for anything in the library that remotely has to do with anything involving pandas, and it has found 41 things. As you scroll, if it kind of runs out, you see it spinning there, it'll just keep on adding more as you scroll. You can use these features off to the left if you want to only look at gosh, excuse me, only books that are in, that would be availability. You could even change it for reading level. I'm going to kind of just stick with the basics for right now, but you can mess around with that. All right, so now let's look at the books that we have that are about pandas. You know that these are physical books because nowhere in this area do you see the word open. If you see the word open, which I don't think we have any ebooks about pandas, just looking. Nope. If you did see the word open on any of these books, that means it's an ebook and you can actually read it right there on the screen. Okay, so that's how you tell the difference between physical books and ebooks. Okay. Then I want you to look at this part, which is right underneath the picture, which most of them have. This underneath the picture of the cover, these are called call numbers. We've talked about this before, so hopefully you remember. Call number just means its address inside the library. Now, of course, if we were in the library, you would need to know that information so you can go find it. So it's not as important. However, it does give you a clue of what kind of book that you're looking at, okay? Anytime a book has numbers in it, it's a nonfiction book. So I've said this to you before. Nonfiction, numbers, nonfiction, numbers, nonfiction, numbers, nonfiction. Remember, they both start with an N. If you see numbers, it's a book about facts and information. If you see an E, that stands for everybody. So what kind of book is that? Well, that's a picture book. It's probably not something that you as a 4th or 5th grader are going to want to read, but maybe not. I don't know. No judgment. If you see F, you're dealing with a chapter book. That's a fiction book. Going to be a little bit longer than QC. QC means quick chapter. So I'm going to have on my website up here underneath my Destiny tab, there is a guide to what all of the different codes mean. But like for the purposes of today's review and for like mostly what you guys are going to be looking at, you are mostly worrying about F because you want chapter books, or books that have numbers in it. Those means those are nonfiction books. Or I know you guys like GF, graphic fiction. That's pretty much what you guys are going to be searching for, okay? I did want to show you 2 kind of key things you need to know about looking for books in distance learning like we are right now. This, my friends, BR is Book Room. That is a set of 5 books that's for teachers only. You cannot put holds on Book Room books. I mean, you can, but I'll just delete it because I can't check those out to you. Okay. And the other thing I want you to be careful of in distance learning, because if you put a hold on this book and you get it, you're going to be disappointed. So this book right here, it has numbers on it. Okay. So it's nonfiction. I'm going to learn about pandas. Great. However, this tiny E in front of it means that it is an everybody book, meaning it's a nonfiction book that's really meant for kindergartners or 1st graders. When you open that book, if you were to get it physically, it would be like 1 sentence on a page. It wouldn't be something that you guys would want to read as 4th and 5th graders, okay? So I think that's just your good general review of what call numbers are. Remember, call numbers are just where the book is. It doesn't have to have a number in it, but if it does, it's a nonfiction book. But otherwise, you've got F for fiction, and you've got E for everybody. PBs, paperback, but again, the really ones that you're worried about are going to be GF or graphic fiction, F for fiction, and nonfiction. So one other thing I wanted to show you while I'm here in my pandas is I want to come back up because I just saw one. Okay, out. That means that somebody out in the Easly universe has this book. It's not currently in the library. Now, that doesn't affect you too much right now because you're not going into the library, but if you're putting books on hold, which I'm about to show you, you kind of want to be careful with books that are out. Especially with distance learning, people are going to be holding on to these books for a lot longer. So if you're putting on holds and you're put a hold on a book that's out, which you totally can, but I'm just warning you, if like you put all of your books on hold and all of them are in the out category, you are not going to get those books for a long time. Okay, so just pay attention to the ins and outs as we do the next step, which is putting books on hold. So I saw one down here. This is a popular series here for 4th and 5th graders. So I want to go ahead and put the physical copy of this book on hold because I'm going to come to curbside checkout next Monday or next Thursday and I want this book. Don't put it on hold if you're not planning to come to curbside checkout. Okay, you really should kind of run this by your parents first. Like, hey, mom and dad, can you drive me to school on Monday or Thursday so I can pick up these books? Don't just put it on hold and then, without talking to them. But I'm going to go ahead and do it just to show you what it looks like. Hold, bloop, and then it just flashes. Okay, it's available now. Pick up before 9:21. So that means that me, Miss Hartley, I get a thing in my computer that says, blah, I'm logged in as Maggie. Maggie, put a book on hold. Go get it, Miss Hartley. And I will. I'll check it out to you. I'll have it in a bag ready for you to go for curbside checkout. I want you to do your very best to put 4 books on hold that are available. You can continue. Where was that book that was out? You can put holds on books that are out, but you have a limit of 6 holds and you can pick up 4 books. So if you use your 6 holds to put things on hold for checkout, it's just going to take a long time, like I said earlier. So concentrate on putting books on hold that are available, really. But you can also do some that are not available, just not too many. Okay, I think that covers pretty much the stuff you need to know with this video, but one more important thing I want you to know. Before you come to curbside checkout, I need you to see if there are books checked out to you. So to do that, you just come up over here where your name is. And when you do that, you can see any holds. There's the hold I just put on for Maggie. And then you can also see what books are checked out to you. She didn't mind. I asked her earlier if I showed these. When you come to curbside checkout, you want to make sure that there's at least 4 books that you do not currently have in your home checked out to you before you come. Okay? If you just drive to school and say, hey, Miss Hartley, I want some books, I'm going to say, okay, we'll drive home and put some on hold and come back next time. You have to have the books checked out to you before you come. So in this case, Maggie wouldn't come to school because she's had these books in her house since June. Okay? So she knows these are in her house. She's already got them. But if Maggie did put a bunch of stuff on hold and then I got them, Miss Hartley, and my computer, and I scanned them and checked them out and put them in her bag, then she could look here and she would see some 4 new books that are checked out to her and ready to be picked up. Okay? All right. So hopefully that gets you guys all set for the assignment, which is just doing a pretty quick Google form in which I ask you some questions about stuff I just went over. And it will also help you do curbside checkout if you're planning on doing that. And again, it's not a requirement to do curbside checkout. Some families can't drive to school. It's fine. Some families don't want to touch stuff that other families have been touching. That's fine. But if you do want to do it, now you should have a better idea of how it goes. So I'm going to stop here and then continue with your assignment and fill out your Google form. Thank you.